by Flames has already met Luffy, and it was way earlier than you think. The identity of the man marked by flames, or Fire Scar as he's called by some, is one of One Piece's greatest mysteries. After the Wano arc ended, the chief members of the Worst Generation, namely the crews of Luffy, Law, and Kid, began to discuss the whereabouts of the final road poneglyph, which was revealed to supposedly be in the possession of this mysterious character, who has a scar which has something to do with fire. However, a bizarre and admittedly far-fetched fan theory states that the elusive Fire Scar has not only been shown before in One Piece, but he may also have directly interacted with Luffy at the very start of the series. In this article, let's go over everything that's currently known about this character and address the claim of whether he has actually been shown in the franchise over 1,000 chapters before he was first mentioned, the mystery of the man marked by flames. When was he first shown? To talk about the first mention of Fire Scar, we must confirm who this character even supposedly is, and the only way to do this is to go over everything that's known about him. Unfortunately, there is very little information about him at the time of writing, the most notable of which is that he is in possession of the final road poneglyph, which was once located on Fishman Island. Most fans believe that he carries it on his ship so that no one can take it from him. Lafitte revealed that this ship is completely black and, wherever it goes, it is followed by many whirlpools that are strong enough to sink anyone pursuing him, which remains the main reason why no one has been able to find the final road poneglyph after Roger himself. Due to this, there is a common theory that states that the true identity of this mysterious character is a former member of the legendary Roger Pirates. Now, the main reason why some fans are convinced that he has been seen in the series before is because of what happened in the very first chapter of One Piece. As Luffy is trailing by peacefully on his little rowboat, he comes across a massive whirlpool that almost ends his journey before it even begins. Because of this, some think that Fire Scar may have secretly been close to Luffy in the very first chapter, where he almost sunk the aspiring pirate King. This is quite a far-fetched statement, as it is the only reason this theory exists in the first place. However, when speculation about the whole thing comes in, fans have made some interesting connections. Essentially, they state that the role of the former Roger Pirates in the current setting is to build up the future Pirate King in order to bring a new dawn to the world, which can be seen with how every member of the crew that has been introduced so far has either trained or tested Luffy in one way or another. I quote, "We decided long ago that I'm going to be the king of the pirates. If I have to die fighting for that, I'd die." The theory states that because the Roger Pirates knew the true history and everything about the coming savior of the world, they had to ensure that this person had what it took to be Roger and Joy Boy's successor. This ties into Fire Scar potentially being a former member of the Roger Pirates as well. Upon receiving the news about the young boy from the East Blue, who became the first person in 800 years to eat the Nika fruit, he went there to test him. Inherited will and fate play a massive part in the overall One Piece story. So it could be that Fire Scar went to see if fate was truly on Luffy's side, and if he was truly the person Joy Boy was waiting for. He knew that if Luffy didn't survive the whirlpool and died so early on in the series, then the Nika fruit would choose the right person to inherit Joy Boy's will, who is destined to carry out his plans. In simple terms, his first appearance was in the very first chapter as Luffy's first test who created the giant whirlpool. How likely is this theory about the man marked by flames? Does it make enough sense? The man marked by flames could be a former member of the Roger Pirates who went to the East Blue to test Luffy. Or he may just be someone else entirely, and the whirlpool from Chapter 1 was merely a coincidence. In truth, this theory is more wishful thinking than anything else. Of course, one can't put anything past Oda, since he has the incredible ability to make seemingly loose connections in a story make a ton of sense. So although the whirlpool creating powers of Fire Scar may have been an afterthought, it's entirely possible that he gave the mysterious character these powers specifically to connect him to the series' first chapter. On the other hand, the connection here is most probably just a coincidence. The most likely thing that happened here was the fact that Oda introduced the whirlpool in Chapter 1 as a hilarious gag for Luffy to deal with, and the eventual powers of Fire Scar were likely kept as whirlpools to justify how hard it would have been to get the road poneglyph from him. However, Oda's genius writing can connect both concepts. If you enjoyed diving into this hidden truth, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, who do you think the man marked by flames really is?